Before we start to complete our project, let's take a quick look at Cype 3D's interface. Cype 3D is divided into two tabs, so here in the bottom left corner, we find the possibility to switch between the structure and the foundations tab. In the Structures tab, we will find that the main window is the work area, in which by default we can see a 3D view of the structure. This 3D view is created by default, but here in the window menu we will then create 2D views and other windows. It's just that by default this 3D is on screen. We can choose its projection by clicking here in projection. And we can choose to hide the projection at any time by clicking back in projection. Another important thing is to know how to rotate the view in the work area, and that is done by pressing the Shift key on the keyboard at the same time that we press the scroll in the mouse. To demonstrate this, we press the Shift key and the scroll wheel. Now we are able to rotate the 3D view. By default, there are some guidelines here. These lines, these brownish lines, can be hidden in geometry, planes, visibility. By clicking in Hide, if we click Accept, if we open a window from left to right, anything that's inside this window will be selected. And to confirm, we can do a right click and those lines will be hidden. There's also the possibility to create the guidelines or not when creating a new element. We will demonstrate in a minute. And if we want them back, we can make show and the opposite action. To the left of the work area, we find the dockable windows. By default, tags, categories, and view options are displayed. These windows, we can take them out and place them anywhere on screen. Even close them if we want to better see the 3D view of in the work area. We can close them. At any time we can clear here and ask for the windows to come up again, for example properties, and we see it there. Or if we want them all back at the same time, we can choose reset window layout. This property window that by default is out of the menu, we can here place it in the menu. The toolbar that appears here is sequential, so the menu, the options that you will find in each menu have already been thought through and are meant to be used in this sequential order. But if anyone finds that the possibilities of the options in each menu is not the one they want, then it's totally configurable. So by clicking here in Tool Configuration, we can choose the toolbar, the options that appear in the toolbar. Other great tools that we must know is this command for searching other commands or shortcuts for the applications. These other options have to do with the zoom, so on the view. So for zooming in and out, of course, we are going to use the scroll. If we want to reset the view, here is an option for full window. There's an option for highlight zoom if we want to see, for example, just this node, and at any time we can come back with full window. There's also the possibility to print the current view to multiple formats such as DXF, DWG, and 2D and A3D, to JPG. Here's a possibility to insert a DXF DWG to serve as a template. So if we search on our computer where we have saved the DXF, we can use DXFs and DWGs to serve as templates. For that, we will click in Edit Views and use the template. And then there is this other tool for snapping that template depending on the options that we activate. For example, intersection will help us when we are upon inserting, for example, a node, to snap the template and locate, for example, this intersection. Or if we use another snap option, for example, the midpoint, if we come to the middle of a segment, it will mark with a triangle the middle. There are different snap options. I'm going to choose to hide this for now, so come back here. And to the right again, we find the possibility to snap objects, not just templates. There's a tool that allows for dimensions to be defined upon entering an object, for example, or let's demonstrate that in actually the orthogonality too. So if I click here to insert a bar, I can do it in any direction, or I can force the software to just move in orthogonal ways without orthogonality. And if we have this option for dimension upon entering, when we click anywhere, it will ask for the length, and we can just give it a length. Let me delete this node. When we delete a node, we actually delete a bar. Also, and here we find some configuration options for the cursor. For example, if we want to display the snap coordinates, if I move the mouse without entering any bars or anything, right now the bar, I can see the coordinates of the points that I'm selecting. We have already talked about these window options here in configuration. Just like in portal frame generation, we find the units. We find the possibility to select the language for the reports and drawings, which can be different from the installation language. Here is where we will select the font size, and we can change the background colors and other configuration settings.